Hey guys, welcome back to Modeling Manhood. I have a whole variety of lovely ice cream containers here today. One of my jobs in college during my undergraduate studies was working at the Cornell Dairy plant. They had a little ice cream shop that I didn't work in. I worked behind the scenes cleaning equipment, prepping machines for ice creams, yogurts, cheeses, and lots of ice cream. One of the jobs for getting ready for ice cream was after you clean it and get everything mixed for your different varieties, would come through this giant cannon. It was probably like this big, maybe like 2 or 3 feet long, and it would get pushed through, and there was lots of knives to cut the ice cream to make it smoother and more enjoyable for a good mouthfeel, for a pleasure, pleasurable experience when you ate it. And after that, we would fill tubs and containers. And if we had to run for one variety to like another variety, we would just keep the machine going rather than shutting down and cleaning. And what we would do, we would fill 3-gallon buckets with mixed ice cream flavors. And because they were soft, they would mix up, and sometimes you would get like really good flavor mixes, but sometimes they weren't so good. And whoever was working that day would take them home or split them up or whatever. So those were like the boys' containers to take home. After they went through that, they went through this little door, and I can remember it was probably like this big, just big enough to put those big containers through and all the other containers through. And they would put the ice cream in, and inside was below freezing with the wind tunnel, and you'd have like a park on and big gloves and like a mask on and just like little slots, and you'd be in there with the cart wheeling ice cream to different varieties and making sure all the freshest dates were in the front. So when orders came in for either the ice cream parlor up front, or if one of the venues on campus needed ice cream, or one of the fraternities, sororities, dining halls, or a special event needed ice cream, they were ready to go out. But that was a fun job. I learned a lot. And I also ate a lot of ice cream too. Uh, but anyways, getting back to those tubs that were mixed. Sometimes you wouldn't want to dig into like a sherbet with like a bananagram. It just doesn't sound very good. And it's kind of like our walk with Christ. If we still have 1 foot in the world and 1 foot over here, we're going to have this internal battle going on whether we're in the world and we're like, maybe Jesus just on Sundays, or we're like, you know what, I just need to be all in. And I want to encourage you guys to be all in. I got a couple verses picked out. I'm going to let you guys look up the one. The first verse is found in Romans 12:2. We're going to flip there. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern which is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. And then the second verse comes from John 15:18 and 20. And I would encourage you guys to read that. If the world hates you, know that it has hated me before it hated you. Remember the word that I said to you, a servant is not greater than his master. If you persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they kept my word, they will also keep yours. And thinking about like oil and water, maybe you've had a vehicle that leaks, and when it rains, all that oil comes to the surface. And as Christians, we need to be separated like water and oil in a mud puddle. We need to be acting differently, talking differently, responding when people would expect us to get angry, just to have a calm answer. And that comes with years of patience and a lot of trials and experiences, and just letting God work on you and rubbing and sanding off those rough areas in our lives. And we will be smooth as ice cream when he gets done with us, or we're going to be something terrible in the mouth of those that we come in contact with. So my question for you is, do you want to be like the world, or do you want to be more like Jesus? And we can't mix it. We can mix all these together and kind of still enjoy it. But if we were to like mix like all of these together, uh, you know what? It's just not going to be the same. And we need to decide which one we're going to stick with, whether it's Bananagram and or what it is. We need to decide on Jesus more than anything. We can be reading lots of different books, and this year I've mentioned a few books that I've enjoyed reading and books that I am reading, but mostly I've just been reading my Bible because that's where we need to be gleaning our hope and our encouragement and our foundation from. So that's my challenge for you guys. Think about ice cream mixed together and how it's not very good. Imagine having lasagna with ice cream. It's just not going to go the same. Or having eggs with ice cream. It's just not right. We need to pick one thing and stick with it and go all in. So go all in for Jesus. Join me as we continue on this journey. And remember to Merry Maker and journey with Jesus.